Hey, what's happening, you queasy quagsire? Today I'm showing off Boltic, Raging Bolt with Joltik. Now I gotta give credit to the list over to Sammy Allen. He played this at the World Championships, ended up 77th place overall, and yeah, it's an interesting deck for sure. And I'm sure a lot of you are gonna be curious, Azul, is this better than Joltik Golden Go? I don't think so. I think Joltik Golden Go is the better overall deck, but honestly, this might be the best way to play Raging Bolt. Is that just the best version of every deck? Is every deck just going to become a Joltik Iron Hands deck at some point? Guard 4, Joltik Iron Hands, Dragapult, Joltik Iron Hands? Maybe, probably not. But it does fit pretty well into Raging Bolt because you already play Grass Energy and Lightning Energy, and that's what Joltik searches out with its Jolting Charge attack, which of course is how we're going to be initially setting up into pretty much every single matchup. Choose second. Blind choose second, and then you want to turn one Jolting Charge, set up your Iron Hands, and then from there, you could attack with Iron Hands, but also you could just go into Raging Bolt depending on what their active is. You've got a bunch of energy in play now on your Iron Hands to potentially utilize with Bellowing Thunder. You don't have to go into Raging Bolt, so it gives you like a lot of options and avenues to go down on that second turn. You don't have to commit to using Iron Hands, but it's a pretty powerful option, so usually you do go in with Iron Hands as long as there's something to KO with the Iron Hands, but don't be afraid to just be like, well, I'm just gonna now swing with the Bellowing Thunder instead. So there's 3 of the Raging Bolt. There's 3 Teal Mask Ogerpon. Still have that in here, of course, for energy acceleration to play through the Raging Bolt side of things. And that's how you can play matches as well, or games as well, I should say, with this deck. Going second, it is still a pretty aggressive build of Raging Bolt at its core. You don't have to turn one Jolting Charge. You can just immediately start swinging with Bellowing Thunder, or even the Slither Wing here with the Burning Turbulence. You don't even have to Jolting Charge onto the Iron Hands. And same thing if you go first. You could go for a turn 2 Jolting Charge and then set up Iron Hands and go into Iron Hands, or you could just give up on that and just go start swinging with Raging Bolt. That's 100% fine, and the deck functions just fine, completely ignoring the Joltik Iron Hands package entirely. But yeah, 3 Raging Bolt, 3 of the Teal Mask Ogerpon, 2 Iron Hands, 2 Joltik, the Fez, the Latias, the Mew. You know it, you love it, you maybe love it, you maybe hate it actually. 1 Squawkabilly, 1 Miraidon in here to make getting into the Joltik and Iron Hands a little bit smoother on that first turn of the game, especially because sometimes we need to move something like a Raging Bolt out of the active. We have access to 2 Nest Balls that could become Joltik Iron Hands, but then the Raging Bolt's stuck in the active, but we can Nest Ball for Miraidon. Miraidon finds us the Joltik and the Iron Hands. The second Nest Ball finds us Latias, then we get into the Joltik. Jolting Charge, our Iron Hands is set up and ready to go. So Miraidon's like a way to extend a single Ultra Ball or Nest Ball in the early game. I guess late game as well, but we probably don't want to be searching on Miraidon in the mid-late game. Slitherwing in here, great answer to Pikachu right now. I get asked this question a decent amount. Azul, do you think Slitherwing or Miraidon is better in Raging Bolt right now? And I think it's definitely Slitherwing because there's a decent amount of Pikachu going around. This deck does not play the Pikachu, despite playing Joltik and the Iron Hands. If we want to play Pikachu, we'd also have to include Metal Energy, which sounds, honestly, that doesn't sound like the worst thing ever, but it's probably not worth it. Squawkabilly, like I mentioned, we still have Sadas, of course, so 4 Sada, 2 Crispin. There's a Turo in here, 2 Bosses of Orders, and the Prime Catcher, and a couple Pokemon Catchers as well. And honestly, I used them a ton throughout the games that I played with this deck. The Pokemon Catchers came up all the time, specifically because our opponent would be trying to play around Iron Hands. If they're playing Guard 4, they might put a Bravery Charm on their active Monkey Dory, or they're trying to attack with a 2-prizer, and then we could like follow up with Raging Bolt, KO their 2-prizer, but KO like a 1-prizer off their bench was like a higher value sometimes. So get a heads on the catcher, find a Boss's Orders, Gust off the bench, take the knockout, you're good to go. Then you get a whole ton of value out of the Turbo besides like using it as a switch card, but I'm sure it's in there as like an answer for like Maractus and Sob and stuff like that. 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, of course, for the Pokemon Search. 3 Pokégear in here as well to aggressively find our supporters, especially Sada and Crispin in that early game. As we get to the mid-late game, that's when the Turo and Bosses might be the target we're looking for. 2 Earthen Vessels, so not a whole ton of energy search as far as the Earthen Vessels go, but that's because we're trying to Jolting Charge initially. That finds us a bunch of energy to put into play, and then from there, we don't need as much energy to work with after that. 2 Night Stretcher and a Superior Energy Retrieval for the recovery. Of course, the Night Stretcher is mostly for, actually, honestly, most of the time, most of it just finds energy. I was gonna say, Night Stretcher is more for Pokemon. Superior Energy Retrieval, well, it can only find energy. You can't even get Pokemon with it, but Night Stretchers usually just find us energy as well. If they chase our Fez, we might like recover our Fez, but 3 Area 0 as well in here for a stadium. We want to go wide. We want that extra bench space to work with, be able to get down all of our threats and our draw support at the same time to make it really, really hard for our opponent to actually have a solid turn that allows them to make a comeback in the game. Because we are the aggressive deck in most matchups. We're usually not falling behind in the prize trade. We're usually getting ahead, and to maintain that lead, having those extra bench spaces definitely makes a huge difference. So 6 Grass Energy, I think 5 is usually the standard in most Raging Bolt lists. 4 lightning, a little bit higher in the lightning count than most Raging Bolt lists because we want to make sure we have those lightnings in the deck to search out and put on our Iron Hands. And then 3 fighting energy in here, of course, because we need to set up our Raging Bolt as well. That is a pretty big deal. And that's it. That's the 60 once again. Shout out to Sammy Allen for blessing us with this list. Let's go ahead and jump into some action, and I'll show y'all how it runs. Wait, am I first? They decided to go second. I feel like the Crispin's kind of weak here, to be honest. I don't want a Pokégear. Like, Pokégear isn't that good either. It just all seems kind of mid. Maybe I just go for like this and just get double grass or something. My hand just feels hella weak. I don't know. All right, and pass. Okay. You can Artisan for Joltik. Our hand was like really weak. Now it's our hand is like fine. It's like nothing ridiculous, but definitely an improvement. Artisan's pretty big for us here for sure. As long as we didn't prize both Joltik, of course. This deck just like plays 2 catchers. What's the inspiration behind this deck? Sammy Allen played it out at Worlds. That's it, basically. This is the Raging Bolt Joltik deck people are talking about. Is this better than Dango Joltik? I would bet probably not, no. I mean, it's fine. My guess would be that the other deck's better. They kind of like my last hand though, but it'll be okay. Let's see if this gets us a Joltik. It does. Wait. Wait. Sure. I guess if I draw into the other grass energy, I can just attach it to my Iron Hands, right? Do I even have to set up Iron? Should I even set up Iron Hands in this situation? I don't even know if this is how I should. This is such a bad situation. Like, I don't know. This situation is like pretty terrible. Because they can just go, if they can just get Monkey Dory set up and Gardevoir. I mean, maybe they need a decent amount. Maybe they need a decent amount. Maybe they'll be able to do that. We'll see. But if they can go like, we'll see. Let them play. Let them play. We'll see what they can come up with here. They have 2 Psychic in the discard pile. Oh, they have a 3rd here, though. So they could retreat to Gardevoir, bench Monkey Dory, attach Dark, KO Joltik, and then whatever gets pushed up, Guardy punches, which is unfortunate. If you boss Amp Curly and they KO hands after, what do you do? I mean, try and boss KO Guardy, probably. Oh, they're gonna go for... Oh, okay, no, they're just chilling. Alright, All right, well, I assume that will be their play here, though. I guess they could Screamtail instead. But they probably want to, now that they have the Bravery Charm there, I feel like they probably want to save it, but maybe not. Maybe they just go for like, well, no, but they don't want to damage the Screamtail and then heal the Screamtail. The Guardy play just seems best, for sure. The Guardy play seems best. Off topic, but is Zango really BDIF? I don't know. Good deck, though. Or is it just sort of not a BDIF right now? I don't know. Haven't thought about it really hard, very hard. There's good decks worse than those, and decks worse than those, and then decks worse than those. I mean, the best 3 decks, I think, are probably Golden Go, Guardian, Poltnor. And then Pidgey's Art is, like, close behind them. Something like that. Okay, so they're coming to the Guardy play. So now I probably push Iron Hands and I try and amp KO the Monkey Dory. Or... yeah, I think I have to push Iron Hands here. Yeah, I mean, amp KO Monkey Dory here is actually kind of good. So we could play for that. Because then it can be awkward for them to get through my Iron Hands. Like, effectively one-hit KOing it. They wouldn't be able to do it next turn. Just draw and see what we get, I guess. Mew amp your hands. Oh, the Mew amp back? Dude. So cringe. Well, I'm not sure how it's going to play out here. I don't even know what we're going to have options of. I guess we just KO the active. How many does it have to be? 4? I kind of want to keep the threat of Iron Hands around, right? Yeah, sure. Yo, Peach is 19 months there. Gloomix. Oh! Okay, they limited themselves to solo. And eyes to 2 monkeys. Yeah. They don't just win the game. Oh, but I can't really chase the Gardevoir if they get a Gardevoir setup, they're just attacking with Curlia, right? We kind of need them to whiff Gardevoir this turn to have a chance, to be honest. That's kind of what we're hoping for. That is an interesting counter catcher. That counter catcher would have made sense if they were... oh, are they going to try and do the Mew play? Maybe they're going to try and do the Mew play. Wait, they took the energy? Bro, please punish them. There's no way that's correct. Yep, they just took 2 energy. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't have amp right now, though. Hold up. Oh, shoot. Okay. I don't need to amp, though, right? I could just Raging Bolt knock out the active, and then I could just win next turn. That would be fine, right? Pokemon Catcher S, you use Sada for draw. Oh, true. I could check the catcher. Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of goofing a little bit. All right, let's just do this. But no, I kind of want like another Raging Ball, to be honest, right? Oh yeah, my hand's kind of stuck anyways. Let's just do this. What if I whiff? Oh, not the whiff. We don't whiff, we don't whiff, we don't whiff. Oh my gosh, I almost whiffed. What else is in the discard pile? Alright, we're chilling. Vital A in hands is Gucci. True, we just gotta heal the lad. Get him out of range. That was yeah, it was definitely a pretty big mistake from my opponent though. Why is there an Iron Hands in this deck? What do you mean? This is Baltic. Raging Bolt Joltik. I feel like this deck should play 2 Latias. It seems super sketch to only play 1 Latias. When it's like such a big part of it, like... Well, I guess we can open Ogerpon. Okay, maybe not though, actually, maybe not. We can open Ogerpon. No Pika, I think. There's no Pikachu, yeah. Why 2 Latias? Because like getting to Joltik turn 1 is like such a big part of this deck. And we don't play any other mobility cards. Like in Joltik box you have Prime and Air Balloon and Arven to find Air Balloon or find the piece that you need to get into the active. But this deck just has Latias and that's it. So if we prize Latias, if we didn't open Ogerpon or find Prime Catcher. But I forgot about Prime Catcher. I forgot about Ogerpon, excuse me. We can open Ogerpon, or we can find Crispin. If we open like Squawkabilly or Fezandipiti, we could like Crispin our way into the active. So it actually seems fine, to be honest, overall. Obviously, if we open Raging Bolt and then prize Latias, we're kind of screwed. But Prime, yeah, Prime Catcher is the A spec. It's not as bad as I thought, though. Clearly, the answer is 4 switches. 4 switches. Also, just having Latias in place is just kind of nice. Having like that infinite mobility is just kind of nice. Nice. Same. Good old triple amp you very much action. One of my favorites. Am I ultra balling for Joltik? No, for Latias and then getting Joltik off 10. I guess I am, right? Ultra Ball away Lightning plus Iron Hands. Get Latias. I don't know. We'll see what. Maybe I have to commit to Squawk here. My hand is just so weak. We'll see what our top deck is, I guess, and see what's prized. What do you call this deck? Baltic. Single or double deck box? I use single. Eevee? Eevee and Cleffa? I don't think I've ever seen a Cleffa and Eevee deck. I just have no idea what we're up against here. I've never played against this before. Kind of feels like a Squawkabilly angle, to be honest. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna Squawk. My hand just doesn't feel strong enough. Oh, I messed up. Damn. That actually would have been a cool play, too. I could have Turo'd the Miraidon and then Vesseled away the Miraidon. But I'm going to give it to Turo. Also, I should have put the lightning in the discard pile and attached the grass to the Joltik. Oh my gosh, I'm just throwing. Yeah, I should have Turo'd the Miraidon, Vesseled away the Miraidon, cycled the grass. Oops. Yeah, and also I should have put the other one in the discard pile. That's fine. Not a big deal. So it should have been lighting the discard pile, attach grass to Joltik, drawn to Turo, Turo Miraidon, Vessel away Miraidon, get grass, fighting, cycle grass. Maybe double grass is still fine there, but probably grass fighting and then cycle grass. Who we draw? For sure it's Zoroark, Leafeon. Is that a thing? Oh, is this the... Was it Gabriel Fernandez I saw tweet something? Is this the Gabriel Fernandez deck? Party in hand, grass, bench attached fighting. If they bump my stadium, I can go 1, 2, 3. But then I would need another Pokemon on my bench. What do I even grab at this point? I guess Mew? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. Oh no, that's still fine then. Yeah. No, wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Maybe I do want Mew. I could have also Gust KO'd the Flareon, right? I feel like getting my amp value now, because otherwise I have to discard the energy off my... Well, that's not 100% true. I could have left 3 energy on the Iron Hand still, I guess. Yeah, it seems fine. What's your favorite Waterpon deck right now? Waterpon? Favorite? Probably the Chi-Pao deck, but Terrabox is probably the best Waterpon deck right now. Terrabox is pretty chill. 2, 3, yeah. Flareon seemed really good there. I mean, it's like fine. This guy's kind of trash. If it is like the Zoroark deck too, I'm not really scared of them. I'm not really scared of them doing anything. I'm not gonna lie. Wait, did they throw with that air balloon attachment there? See Makani's tweet? I did, yeah. Okay, are they cooking? Incarnation. It's Zoroark Evolutions. What's Flareon doing this turn? Big nothing. Like counter catcher for Ogre's the only good play. Bro, why'd you have to say something? What the fuck? You could have just said nothing. You literally didn't have to say anything. I mean, we're still chill. I don't really care. Yeah, we still just win. I might literally win by triple amp. We'll see. Might be a triple amp type angle. Now we just amp a Zorua. Amp this Zorua specifically. I would prefer to boss than Sada, so we're just gonna dig with Fez first. I could do this, 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 this. Yeah, if I have to Prime Catcher, I will, but pretty good. Pretty good, man. I don't know. Boss is pretty good there. I can't even do like a big attack with that next turn, so I can just load up this one. Would you rank this higher than Dango Joltik? No, probably not. Because both of them are just... They're both decks that are trying to enable the Iron Hands play, but I feel like Dango does it better. Because simply playing Arven means you just have like a higher chance or like a smoother... It's just like more likely that you're going to get off a smoother Joltik into hands play. Playing this deck, it just feels like you're... I don't know, teetering on like a knife's edge more often. The Golden Go deck feels like it's more fundamentally sound. Being able to like execute the turn 1 to turn 2 to like what the 1, 2, 3. Turn 1, load up hands, use hands. Turn 3, attack with Dango. Azul, you see the Hydreigon Pult who won a tournament? Nope. The deck is mid, I think, but very fun. No, I've not seen it. Saluna. Does Cyrano's help this deck get the turn 1 Joltik more often? If you had it in the opening hand, yes, but I mean, how many Cyrano are you gonna play? The card is just kind of bad in the deck past turn 1, so the answer is yes. But like, what am I adding 1 Cyrano to hope I open with it turn 1? It seems kind of bad. I feel that putting so much grass in your hands makes it so your Teal Mats don't get as much to draw, I think. No, that's not. I don't think that's specifically is like a big. Yeah, that's not a big consideration to me. Like, or like a big hang up about the deck. I don't think. Like, because you're thinning all the energy out of the deck, so it's like the same thing, kind of. That's not a big deal. I think a big boost for the Golden Go build is Genesect, though. That, like between last format and this format, like that was a huge difference maker. Being able to consistently find your Golden Goes. Whatever tournament Ryan Antonucci won, I think I played against Sammy there. I think maybe I played against him another time as well, but I definitely played against him at that tournament. Attach pass. Imagine how consistent decks would be if you just drew 13 cards to start a match. Yeah, it'd be insane. That's why that one's just like is like so pointless to like discuss, because that's like not a real solution. Fighting, discard pile, attach grass active. Yeah, that is like the fakest solution ever. First, cards would have to like fundamentally be changed how they function, and then. But like that change would have to come from the Pokemon Company, it feels like, specifically. The Pokemon Company would be like, this is now how you play the game, and the cards are designed to be played this way. But just like draw 7 and then look at your prize cards is something it feels like that TPCI could just be like, we're just gonna make this change to our tournament rules. It's like not a fundamental part of there's no fundamental change in the game. Just instead of on your knowing your prize cards on your first search, you just know them at the beginning of the game. Yeah, both players will have perfect hands. Wouldn't that be a better skill check? No. At some point, with all these changes, like if you play open deck list, draw 13 layout 6 prize cards, at some point, you're literally just playing chess or checkers. The RNG of a card game is what makes it different from chess or checkers. Well, I mean, checkers is literally... the difference between chess and Pokemon is the variance. If you just want to remove all the variants from Pokemon, and at that point you're both just playing the exact same Pokemon decks, but with different Pokemon. I say this all the time, but it feels like Pokemon players don't want to play Pokemon. They want to play chess, but instead of the queen being a queen, the queen is a Mew. They just go play chess at that point. If you want to play with a queen that is a Mew and a king that's a Pikachu, just go play chess. So the answer's there. We got the solution. It's good if you don't know how to project and you're impressed about it. No, it is not, DD. That is not a solution. If you don't know how to prize check, the answer is not to play Daisy's Help. Although I'm sure that's why some people included Heavy Ball. So remember, you're not being paid for a game designer. True, hold up. Gotta lock back in. What the heck? Just giving out this free information like that? Fuck. Can't be doing that. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I actually kind of want to hold this lightning energy. So I was gonna say after I get heads, but then I whiff the heads, so. Boss? Nice. Do I want to hold the... Actually, do I want to hold the lightning energy that bad, though? Maybe not, maybe not. Maybe I want that one card. But then I messed up and I should have done this before I played the Pokégear, obviously. A little bit of missequencing going on. Nothing much. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I'm like running out of energy for my Raging Bolts. I have like one fighting in deck. I have 2 Night Stretcher as well, but... We do a little throwing. Yeah, we do a little... Dude, my hand actually just still sucks, though. What the fuck? How is my hand still bad? Oh my gosh. My last 2 prize cards might be Grass Energy. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, the draw 13, play 6 prize cards would be terrible. Like, you couldn't just, like... So, we already do things a little bit differently than TPC, right? We play best 2 out of 3 in all of our tournaments. We play 50+1. Our sudden death is different. We play a tiebreaker match, right? Where you reset up, you lay out 6 prize. In Japan, if they go to sudden death or whatever you want to call it, they lay out 1 prize card. We lay out 6 prize cards. So we do some things differently than Japan. If we drew 13 cards in our opening hand and then laid out 6 of them as our prize cards, the game would, like, everyone would just open the nuts every single game. That's not what you want. That removes, like, the variance of a card game that makes the game interesting to play. Because at that point, at some point, you're literally just playing chess. If you keep stripping away layers from the Pokemon TCG, at some point you're literally just playing chess. And you dull down the game enough to the point where every top deck is basically decides the game. It's like, oh, you top deck boss before I did, you win. Congrats. At the highest level of play in any card game, not at the highest level of play, the higher in levels in play you get in card games, the more RNG actually affects the game. I actually might lose this game. We had like a ridiculously good start, but my hand is just dead. Okay, and I can get Slither here, though. I can Sada to Slither. To see stuff. And I can Stomp off. Get him. Ooh. I mean, the game to teach my kid sister, and to be honest, it's already streamlined. You only brick if your deck is dead. Very bad luck. Or that's your opponent's strategy. I mean, you can brick outside of that. Oh, I don't know if that's what you mean though. I think the only two solutions are one, replace with prize points like pocket, or two, 30 seconds at the beginning of the match to view them and then shuffle them and place them. Well, you can't do the point. Well, okay, the points thing could happen as well, but it, like, the only real solutions that are worth discussing are things that TPCI could implement outside, like away from TPC. Because like the prize points thing would have to come from TPC. The draw 13 layout 6 would have to come from TPC. That can't come from TPCI. TPCI cannot make those changes. Those changes would never happen unless that was like became a new fundamental part of the game. But we don't really have influence over what TPC is going to do. Maybe we do a little bit, but not in the same way that like TPC, we could like, because like TPCI has been more and more paying attention to the community's feedback on like issues in the game. So TPCI responding to one of these situations and being like, okay, we'll let you look at your prize cards at the beginning of the game is like a realistic change that could happen. Drawing 13 cards and laying out 6 is not realistic. That's not something TPCI is ever going to do. Or the prize points thing isn't like a thing that'll ever happen either. Points instead of prize cards, whatever. But TPC could. TPC could. Like the Pokemon Company, and maybe part of the pocket being the way it is part of testing what they want to change and make different about. Ooh, I feel like that was a really bad mistake. Unless they had to do it. I don't know if they had to do that though. But TPCI doesn't make the rules for the game. They're not, what's it called? I don't know about that Lavencia placement. They probably couldn't have avoided it though, right? Like I'm assuming that they had to do that. Did they counter catcher there? But they could have counter catchered my Squawkabilly instead, right? And then KO'd that. I like my idea of optional mulligan 6 from your hand to the prizes. Draw both back up to 6. I know it's a creature change. Yeah. All of the creatures required changes are, I don't know, basically, I mean, in my opinion, just like not worth discussing. Like, or like, I have no opinion on them because they're just like, they're not happening. Or if they do happen, it's like, we would just have to be told it's happening. Whereas like the other things I think we could actually push for TPCI to make a change in the space for non-Asian tournaments, basically. That's like different though. Wouldn't it be enough to solve the unplayable prize cards and that's it? What do you mean? Sob? Well, I could just donk them, right? Pretty chill. Easy dub. Latias? Oh. I have to play the Ultra Ball, dude. What the heck? Oh, I guess second Ogerpon would have also worked, right? So even if Latias was prized we actually had, we could have cycled pawns. We actually didn't even need Latias to not be prized. And I still could have Squawkabilly if we had to. We need to dig further. They've definitely been hearing the I prize my prize cards complaints for probably the whole time, for sure. What we can do is open deck lists. Wait a second, what am I doing here? I feel like there's got to be a Squawkabilly, right? Yeah, I need more for sure. We really don't have proper channels to ask for a price check solution. No, they're aware of it. I mean, one of the channels that is available now is like the ambassador program that like I'm a part of, and trust me, they're aware. Like the discussions are happening in the Discord server, which that information gets passed along. If anything comes of it, who knows? The other proper channel outside of that is submitting a support ticket. Appreciate the 9 months there, Fluffy Sleepion. Yeah, they are aware. They're definitely aware. I think people try to change the game too much for convenience. Price checking is an issue with time, but doesn't require a whole new game to fix it. I agree, Matt. I'm with you there. That's why like the thing I've been advocating for is that they just need to give us real guidelines. They need to be like, this is what you can do, this is what you can't do. If you do the thing you can't do, you're gonna get a penalty. They just need to give us real. That's what I want. I want real guidelines in the rule book. Ideally, like if I could come up with what the guideline is, it would be draw 7, find basic. Oh, mulligan 2, find basic. Draw 6, look at 6, shuffle. They become your prize cards. How long have you been an ambassador? 2 months? 3 months? 2 or 3 months? Does Miss Energy work against Pult? Yes, it does. Peak thick. What the heck? So I have Crispin plus Ultra Ball for Slither Wing. I just need to be able to pivot into the Slither Wing. And I have a fighting in the discard pile that I could get to go Slither Wing KO this. So I just need to make this thing a pivot. I think I just go attach lightning. I want to save the grass to combo with Ogerpon. Oh, wait a second though. I would rather Sada. What if I did this turn? I should have actually got the fighting here. Wait. I can still do this. Yeah, it still works. It still works. I definitely was trolling a little bit there, but we're fine. I should have Crispined. Yeah, that's fine. I could have had... whatever. Something. Part of the game in the rules has been 30-second deck checks. Misplays because of bad checks are part of the game. The prize check rule has always been part of the game. 30 seconds, as it's a deck check. No, there is no prize check rule. There's an unwritten rule that you can take an extended amount of time to prize check. Also, deck checks is like 30 second. In the rule book, searching through your deck is 15 seconds, I believe. Not 30 seconds, excuse me. 15 seconds. There's an unwritten rule. There is no prize check rule. There's an unwritten rule that you get to take more time to prize check. It is not 30 seconds. It is definitely more than 30 seconds in the current game. But there's no official rule in the rulebook that tells us how long it is. But according to the stream, it's 2 minutes. Like if you just watch people prize check on stream, they're taking 2 minutes plus to prize check. So it's at least 2 minutes because that's what they're given on stream. I need to be able to tell my opponent if they've gone over the time limit allotted to the prize checking. If they don't want to give a time limit for that, then let us check prize cards and shuffle them. That's what I'm saying, Wafer. I 100% agree with you. Part of the skill is performing under time pressure too. Yeah. That's like another thing. That's what I ranted about yesterday. It's like, but if they're not giving us an amount of time that time is, then it's just infinite time. That's what I'm saying. There's no rule because it's not part of the game. It's a deck check and judges shouldn't have allowed players to influence the rules. Oh, true. Well, no, but having an extra amount of time to like, and I'll finish my thought after I play this turn. Up the distance. All right, Slither's in there. Slither off the top? Don't mind if I do. There's a fighting in there, so I'm gonna go fighting lightning. Burn him. What I'm saying is no rule because it's not part of the game. It's a deck check and shouldn't have allowed players to influence rules. But it's not like players influencing the rules. Like it's like a mutually agreed upon situation. Obviously, it shouldn't exist. I agree, it shouldn't exist. But it's like, I don't think you really put it on the players there. The players are like, "Yo, can I take extra time to check my prize cards on my first search?" And judges and TOs and everyone comes together and is like, "Yeah, you can take extra time." And then it didn't used to be as big of a problem before because people weren't taking like 2 minutes. But now we're getting to the point where the competition is rising, and I don't fault players for maximizing their win conditions, right? Like, if you know all 6 of your prize cards, you have a higher chance of winning that game. So if you can take 30 seconds, you'll take 30 seconds. If you can take 45 seconds, you'll take 45 seconds. If you can take a minute, you'll take a minute. If you can take a minute 30, you'll take a minute 30. If you can take 2 minutes, you'll take 2 minutes. But it just comes down to the TOs and the tournament organizers and being like, this is the rule. This is how much time you get. But they haven't done that. They need to do that. So it really is all on TPCI at the end of the day. It's all on TPCI to step up and be like, this is how much time you get, or this is an adjustment in prize checking that everyone needs to follow now. Like, you can't really blame the players. The players are like, yo, can I take this much time? And if the judges and the TOs and the tournament organizers say, yeah, sure. And you're like, can I take this much time now? They're like, yeah, sure. Can I take this much time? They're like, yeah, go for it. If they just keep saying yes, it's fine for the players to just keep taking advantage of how much time they're giving them. Is there a link to the deck list played right now? Yeah, they're all in my Discord. Just put command Discord, and I'll give you the link. Okay. A lot of stuff. Hang on, we got a lot. So I'm just gonna KO the active. There's multiple cards I could get here that would allow me to draw more cards and cycle and see more of my deck, though. I'm just gonna start with one of these. Mew, Ogerpon. Third Ogerpon. Okay. Another dub.